Hello, gorgeous. My name is Gwen Jameer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am a CEO and founder of Naturalicious, and I am so excited to bring to you my exact recommendation for how you should be using the Naturalicious 3-step system. When I say 3-step system, now let's get something straight. When I say 3-step system, this is literally everything that you need for wash day in one step. You ain't got to go nowhere else. All right, everything you need is in the system for wash day. I'm going to show you exactly what you need for a super productive, super successful curls popping, curls boiling wash day. And then I'm going to get in the shower and I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to do it. So when you get the system at home, you're not confused. You're not wondering like, what do I do first? How long do I leave it on? I don't know. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. All right. So let's get into it. The first thing that you're going to need is the step 1 Moroccan Rasoul 5-in-1 clay treatment. This is the 16-ounce size that I'm using today. It's my favorite size to use. It's just super convenient for me. But you might have the 8-ounce size, or you might buy the 2-ounce travel size. Whatever size you want to use, it's your world. It's all good. Size in this particular case does not matter in relation to my wash day that I'm going to show you. But the bottom line is to make sure that you've got the step 1. All right, so it should say 1 on the jar or bottle. The next thing that you're going to need is step 2. This is the Moisture Infusion Styling Cream. You're going to need this. Again, this is the 8-ounce size. You might have a different size that we sell. All good. Just make sure you've got step 2. The next thing you will need is step 3. All right, so remember I said 3-step system. So step 3 is the Divine Shine Moisture Lock and Frizz Fighter. And then you're going to need a couple more things. You're also going to need these are highly recommended. You're going to need the Naturalicious t-shirt towel. I'll show you how to use that. And then you probably also want to have a cup, and you're going to need some hot water for your hot oil treatment. I definitely recommend the hot oil treatment. I'm going to tell you before I get into it why I recommend these things. And then one more thing that you're going to need is some ponytail holders. So I'm going to use 3. So I have 2 here, and I have 1 in my hair right now. And I'm going to use those 3, and I'm going to show you how. And then you're also going to need a wide tooth comb. So you're going to pull out your wide tooth comb, and you're going to use that. That's all you're going to need. And then, oh, one more thing. You're going to need a plastic shower cap. So me personally, just to be completely real right now, I ain't got no plastic shower caps here. So I'm going to go and I'm going to grab a grocery store bag and show you how I'm going to ghetto rig it and use my grocery store bag. But if you do happen to have a plastic shower cap at home, that's perfectly fine. If you don't, use the grocery store bag like I do. It's free. Why not, right? All right, so I'm going to get into the shower, show you exactly what to do, and then we are going to show you how these curls look. All right, let's get the water going. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab the step 1. All right, feel free to follow this video along as you're doing it if you would like, or you can watch it before and then do it after. So I'm going to open up step 1. Okay, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to hop in the shower. I'm going to grab my wide tooth comb, and I'm also going to grab my ponytail holders. Before I get in the shower though, I'm going to have warmed up my hot water already, and I am going to start warming up my oil, because we're going to do a hot oil treatment. The hot oil treatment is so important, you guys. Hot oil treatment is literally going to help your curls be shiny without feeling greasy. It's going to hydrate your hair some. It's going to give you all the way more definition than you're getting without doing a hot oil treatment. So I recommend that you start that process while you're in the shower, because this ain't going to take no time at all. So start that process now. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to take my hot water and I'll pour it into my cup. All right, about halfway. I have my cup filled about halfway. And then I'm just going to put my step 3 inside of it. It's important to warm your oil up this way. Let me turn the water off. It's important to warm your oil up this way, because if you warm the oil up directly, you're actually going to burn yourself, and we don't want that. Okay, so let the hot water heat up the oil inside the jar for you. Okay, so this is what you're going to do while you are in the shower. All right, water back on. Now I'm going to get in with my step one, my wide tooth comb, and my ponytail holders. Now make sure the water temperature right, don't want to get fired. Alright, let's get in. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ponytail down, shake my hair out. Alright, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your hair is soaking wet. It may take longer for some people than others. That's totally okay, okay? It's totally fine. The porosity of your hair will determine how long it takes for your hair to get soaking wet. My advice, do not start this until your hair is soaking wet. The step one is a clay. Okay, so you have to remember, clays need slippage in order to really do what they need to do. So if it takes your hair no time to get wet, really soaking, drenched with water, that's cool. If it takes you a longer period of time because you have lower porosity hair, that's cool too. There's no right or wrong type of hair to have. So however long it takes, it's totally good. My hair is pretty much in the middle. So it doesn't take a super long time, but it doesn't get like soaking wet right away either. So I'm in the middle. So you can see I'm really making sure that I'm drenching my hair. And another tip I like to give is like to help it along the way, just separate your hair like this. Like I'm pulling apart like this. Okay, that will help to really get the water in there. And even now, my hair still isn't soaking wet like I want it to be. But I think it is now. All right, I'm gonna go to the other side and do that side. I'm still pulling apart. Okay, we are in there. All right, so now that my hair is soaking wet, I am going to start to wash it. And I just want to start the clock real quick to show you how quickly this is going to get done. So it is 7:40 a.m. As of the time that I am making this video. Okay? It may be a different time where you are when you're watching this video, but that's the time it is right now. Okay, 7:40. All right, so next thing you want to do is you want to separate your hair into sections. So I'm going to just give myself a real quick little unofficial, not fancy part. Okay? I'm going to move one side of hair out the way. This is the way that I recommend that you wash your hair. Wash your hair in sections. Two things it'll do. One thing, it will prevent you from using too much product because you're trying to do too much hair at once. And two, it'll help you be more effective with each section. So smaller pieces, smaller sections produce greater results. All right, so you can see I have this section out the way. This is the section I'm going to work on, and this section is out the way as well. So I part my hair into 3 sections. All right, so now I'm going to take step 1. This is the Miraculous Tool 5-in-1 Plate Treatment. And I'm going to take it, excuse me. All right, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on my hair. I'm going to step out the shower to show you. So I'm going to start it at the roots. And I'm just kind of going to paint my hair with it, kind of, sort of. Okay, and I'm going to take more product as needed and work it down my hair. But I started at the root, as you can see. And I'm taking small amounts at a time, not a whole lot. Okay? And you're going to notice that it's not going to sud. That's not what it's supposed to do. Suds actually create, suds in hair products actually don't do a whole lot for your hair most of the time. Usually, they're just stripping your hair of its natural oils. It's a chemical created in a lab. It's not natural. And actually, more suds do not mean cleaner. To be honest, I'm still washing my hair as I'm doing this, by the way, as you can tell. By the way, suds, the same suds that are found in most hair care products, it's an ingredient called sodium lauryl sulfate. That ingredient is also found in Tide laundry detergent. It's also found in Dawn dishwashing liquid. So if you wouldn't wash your hair with Tide, because it's a detergent, it's going to strip your hair, don't wash your hair with a product that has sulfates in it, which usually creates suds, okay? So you may have noticed while I was teaching you guys all that I was working the product through my section, okay? I'm just kind of working it down all the way to the end. And now that I've got it all in my hair, I'm going to make sure that I get into my scalp. When you go to the hair salon, a lot of times the stylist, or not the stylist, but the wash bowl girl, she is, or guy, is all in your scalp, right? But when we get home, we forget about that a lot. And the thing is that if you don't clean your scalp thoroughly, no matter what product you use, your hair cannot grow and dry like it should, because your scalp, your pores are clogged. Look at that curl definition coming in. All right, your pores are clogged, and so if you're not cleaning your hair, if you're not cleaning your scalp and just your hair can't thrive and grow like it should. Nothing can grow from a clogged scalp. So it'll grow, but it won't grow like it should, like you want it to. All right, so the next step is that I'm going to take my wide tooth comb and I'm going to detangle. And I'm going to start at the bottom of my hair. And I'm going to work my way very gently up the roots. As you can see, the comb is sliding through. You may have some more to detangle depending on how long your last wash day was or the last time you detangled your hair. But if you get to a point where the comb stops, like this, that means that you need to detangle more. Don't just rip through that, okay? And this goes for any product that you're using. You really want to make sure you're gentle with your hair. I know that our hair feels like it can take a lot of, abuse or a lot of tension, but we have actually some of the most fragile hair on the planet. It breaks very easily. It requires a lot of moisture in order to thrive and grow and retain length. So we've got to be really gentle with it, okay? So once you can get your comb all the way through without a lot of tension, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to rinse. And I'm just going to rinse that section. Now, when you were detangling, you may have gotten some hair out. Again, you may get hair out no matter what you use. That's actually not necessarily a bad thing. Every single person sheds 100 hairs a day, as you should. That is, on average, what most people on the planet shed. So if you have some hair that come out, don't trip, okay? Unless it's like a huge ball of hair, you shouldn't really have to worry. Now remember, how much you get out of your how much hair you get out is going to depend on how often you wash your hair. I recommend washing your hair every 7 to 10 days. I have separated my hair, by the way, into a new section. So I moved the section I completed, and I'm going to start on this section. Back to the point about detangling. You want to make sure that you're detangling your hair every time, because again, we shed 100 hairs a day. So if you haven't washed your hair in a month, right? That's 30 days times 100 hairs. That's 3,000 hairs. Conversely, if you haven't washed your hair in a week, that's only 700 hairs. 100 hairs times 7. So the longer you've gone in between wash days, the more you're going to shed. So again, consider when the last time you detangled was and washed, and that should give you a good rule of thumb for how much hair you can expect to get out, okay? All right, so now I'm working on the back. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to paint the hair at the root with our hands. And you'll notice I'm in the shower doing this. I actually recommend you do your hair in the shower as well. I know it might be more convenient sometimes to do it in the sink, but it's actually not as effective. You get way better results in the shower because the shower water is actually helping your hair to separate and helping you to be able to detangle it easily. All right, so I'm just kind of working the product down my hair, And then once I get it all the way down, then, and I really focus on those ends too. Ends is where breakage occurs, so you want to make sure that you're focusing on the ends. I'm going to get that out. All right, and so now that I've done that, I'm going to take my wide tooth comb and I'm going to start detangling. Remember, we're going to start at the ends. And if you're having trouble detangling, you can do what I'm doing right now, which is putting your hair underneath the water. The water, like I said, plus the Moroccan Rasul 5-in-1 clay treatment will help your hair to detangle easier. You definitely want to make sure you're detangling every single time that you wash your hair, because our hair tends to, it's curly for the most part. It's curly and it's wavy. And it wraps itself around our good hair. So when our shed hair falls out naturally, like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't always just fall straight to the ground because our hair is so curly, it sometimes gets caught before it falls out. So, if you don't detangle, your hair that has fallen out naturally, the naturally shedded hair, sometimes will wrap itself around your good hair. If you don't detangle it, it can actually break that hair off. So now, if you aren't detangling like you should, you'll find that your hair, you may not be able to retain the length that you want because your hair is, your dead hair is breaking off your good hair, and now your hair is shorter than it normally would be had you been detangling. Alright, so I'm now going to go ahead and do the third section. I'm going to take this one whole section, I'm going to separate this into two as well. I'm going to move this section out the way. I'm separating, okay? Alright, so I'm going to work on this back here, so I'm going to turn around to show you. I'm going to take my step one with me. So I'm taking a little bit, and I'm going to paint that section, starting at the root. So working my way down my hair. Okay, and then making sure I get the ends, because again, the ends is where breakage occurs, and we don't want breakage. So now that I've done that, I'm going to take my wide tooth comb and I'm going to start at the ends. Detangling ever so gently. If I need extra help, I'm going to go into the water. But remember, at any point, if you're detangling, this is, again, no matter what product that you're using, if you get to a point where you're like here or wherever, that means that that part below it hasn't been detangled enough. So you need to just relax, be patient. Patience is everything, especially with our hair. You want to make sure that you are gentle with your hair. When it's detangled well, the comb will just slide through with no problem, just like that. Okay? Alright, so we have one more section to go. I'm going to move this one off the way now. Alright, so now I'm going to do this section and then we'll be done. Just going to wet it one more time. And then we're going to grab some step one. And again, we're painting at the roots. Got to make sure that all the hair is clean and detoxified. Just use as much as you need, but as you can see, I'm using small amounts at a time, which is preventing me from using the whole jar or the whole bottle. Sometimes because the product does not set up, people aren't always necessarily used to that. And though a lot of us have gotten accustomed to the fact that we shouldn't be using sulfates, we still, for the most part, grown grown up thinking that the more sudsy a product is, the cleaner our hair is getting. So it takes a little bit of a mindset shift in order to move ourselves out of that thinking, because it's just simply not true. However, soaps are actually worse for your hair, and products without sulfates clean your hair just as well, if not better, than products that have suds. But sometimes people will use, you know, the whole jar or a lot of the bottle or the whole bottle because they're trying to, like, subconsciously they're overcompensating for the fact that there are no suds. So they're not used to that. So they're like, okay, maybe I need to use more to get my hair cleaner. And so I'm here to tell you, you do not need to use the whole jar or half the bottle or that much at all. But by doing it in smaller sections like I'm showing you right now, it actually helps you use less product, which means that you can get more uses out of your jar or your bottle. All right, so now I'm detangling. And I'm starting at the bottom, slowly working my way up as my hair tells me it has been detangled efficiently. Use the shower if you need to. Alright, we're all done. So I'm just going to make sure that I rinse this out really well. You can tell if the product is out of your hair by looking at your water. If your water is rinsing clean and clear, then you know it's all gone. If it's not, then you still have some to go. So I'm just going to give it another quick rinse. And then I'm going to turn my water off. And I'm done with my wash. All right. Let's check the time. It is 7:54 a.m. So I started at 7:40. It is 7:54. I did my whole wash day process in 14 minutes. It is amazing. And let me tell you what the beautiful thing about this is that not only did we just wash, but we also, step one also helped us wash, condition, deep condition, detangle, and it does the work of a leave-in conditioner, which means we don't need an additional leave-in after this. So I've done all of that in just 14 minutes. Okay? Like crazy, 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 crazy. Insane. So you are going to be able to have these amazing, super shortened wash days. Now your wash day may be longer, maybe shorter, but I can almost guarantee you it's going to be less time than you're normally spending if you use the product system correctly, like I just showed you. All right. All right. So now I'm going to grab a plastic, in my case, I'm going to grab a plastic bag and for my hot oil treatment. And if you have a plastic shower cap, you can grab that. But I'm going to come back and we're going to get into that.